Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Let's bring on the one you all came to see.
Oh, I guess it's me. I was waiting for a special guest.
No, oh, it's you. They all come to see you. They don't want to see my ugly mug.
Oh, my
So you might
goodness.
have noticed, folks, there was no show opener tonight. We had a problem with the past openers. I kept getting these scammers um, from Facebook. Claiming ownership to the videos, which is simply not the case, having to send them scathing emails and, how can they claim ownership any content when it's a live stream? It's just a bunch of scammers, is what it is.
Hmm.
So after you threaten them with lawsuits, they release their claims. They block the videos all over, and so it's the wonderful world of Facebook. Not much you can do about that.
Yes.
But we've got one um, that Miss Canuck worked on. It's killer. It's a great opener, but my internet is not the quality that I can't even upload it. So I have to go to the gym where I go work out every day and use their internet. Unfortunately, they got struck by lightning yesterday and their internet got fried. So I wasn't able to get it open uploaded. So it ain't no biggie. And being as how we're not going to be on next Thursday night, the 25th, I have a personal commitment that I need to attend. And then in September, we're going to have one night. I think it is September 8th, I think. Yeah, there'll be no Treasure Tales September 8th because the guru, Phil Myers, and myself are going to be on Relics Radio
Ah.
with the Adventures in Dirt guy. So, um, kind of hard to be on his show and do Treasure Tale at the same time. So, I'm going to be in his show. What can I say? You know. Let's see. I thought I saw our guests come up. Uh, I see them. Okay, they're here. Yeah. Yeah. Let me just send them a message. Go ahead and talk to people, Liz.
Well, let's how about I say hello to everyone that has joined us so far. Because if you weren't out there, Jeff and I would just be like chit chatting back and forth. This is a little bit more fun. Mr. Naylor was the very first person in the chat tonight. Thank you so very much for that. Andrew T. My goodness, is good evening, everyone. Andrew is a great supporter of Treasure Tales and Treasure Talk. So thank you very much for that. Gene P. Gene is here. Robert Ridgway is also here. Grandma Kelly's Clean Life, Clean Living
Oh,
in the house. Grandma Kelly, thank you.
yeah.
I've seen her on some other live streams. So thank you so much for popping in. Do appreciate that.
Yeah. Keep going. I see John David. I hope he's feeling better. He contracted a bad cold.
Ooh.
Um, and he's got lung problems anyway because he's the one we got the Blue Space Society formed for.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, summertime colds are always really bad. Like if you catch a cold in the summer, for some reason, it's like amplified. So I hope he
yeah,
feels better soon.
well, what happened is his grandkids back in school,
Ah,
and therein lies the crux of it, right there.
there you go. Kitty germs.
Yeah, we're having a little problem with our first guests and they can't get in their camera to work. So we're going to have to try something. We may end up switching stuff up. I'm not sure.
All right. Metal detecting the six with Prospector Steve also joined the house. And we have, I think in September, maybe October, we have a dig scheduled. So that should be interesting.
When we got him scheduled?
No. I have a date. I have a date for digging with Prospector Steve.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Mr. Canuck knows you're dating, and
Oh my goodness. Practical Ken has joined the house. Somebody else, Treasure Hunting New York, also here. Right on, right on. New York in the house. Good stuff.
Yeah, cool.
Good stuff.
Cool. So we're gonna have to have our first guest rejoin, I think. Maybe what there we no yeah. Let's see what happens. If we got a couple minutes yet. If we have to punt and just switch our guests, we can do that. So not a biggie. I mean, we're the pros from Dover. We can handle it, you know. So what's been going on? I guess you were in the pool today, huh?
Actually, I met Liam Luce Hamilton and his dad Mike this morning. We detected the oldest park in Hamilton. Did that, came home, had some lunch, and I hit the pool because it was beautiful. Wonderful day. And there aren't going to be too many of these days left.
No, especially up there, it'll get cold on you real
Oh,
quick.
it'll be like snow and minus 27 in a couple weeks.
I know. It's terrible,
Yeah.
but you know,
Yeah.
we're still not on 96 or 97 today.
Oh, I might give an appendage for that.
Well, you
Seriously.
know, they're easing up on the restrictions, so time to do some traveling. You know,
Yeah.
just get a little, you know, get Hulu, go back and watch Jackie Gleason show, and get a little traveling music. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
go traveling. I'm sure you guys, after being cooped up, are ready to go somewhere.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It's been a
Yes,
long time. Hmm.
yes, it has.
Yeah.
Well, I think what we're going to do is we're going to switch things around and we'll bring our first guest on and we'll see if the other guys can get it straightened out. I'm going to try and send them a new link
Okay.
while we're talking, but um, you know, everybody knows this guy, you know, I think. If they don't, they're going to.
Yes.
But they know him from Excalibur shovels, but many of them may not know he's a very talented detectorist,
Yes. Yes.
and he has a YouTube channel called the Key Date Kid, and he finds some pretty cool stuff. He's a master of the ghost town.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and let's bring on Casey Dittman, the Key Date Kid. Hey, Casey.
Hey guys,
Hey, Casey, welcome to this stream.
thanks. Thanks. Happy to be here.
Right on. Good stuff. My goodness. I think we all coordinated our outfits today.
We did.
Yeah,
We did. I've just worn my hat.
There you
I
go.
put it to the test. You know,
Oh.
it's starting to show some sweat, but that's some like hundreds of hours of digging on this hat now.
Wow.
So I put it on, but don't want to mess up the hairdo.
Your hair got did today.
I
you
did. You
got
know,
your
it
hair
takes
did
it's an
today.
effort to get my hair done to not make myself look bald.
There, there you go.
So you got a wash and set there, eh?
Yep.
Wonderful.
Very good.
Wonderful. So Casey, before we get things started, who came up with the Key Date Kid moniker for you?
That was a gentleman when I first started metal detecting. I had asked a lot of people if I could metal detect. I didn't know how to ask or how to brush up on them. But basically, if you put a big smile on your face when you ask, they have a hard time saying no. But this gentleman let me metal detect his yard, and I found a 1908 S Indian head penny. And when I got done, I just sat on his porch. I got a barber dime and some other things, some really cool coins. And I looked up all of them, and then it ended up being the 1908 S. Was a valuable coin. The online it said about $80, but it's more like 120. But I told him about it, and he said he's all, well, you're the I'm all, it's a Key Date coin. He's all, you're the Key Date Kid. And I thought, well, that's cool. I'm going to use that. So that's how I got it. And a really nice guy. I ended up going back to his house, and I found my first coin from the 1800s at his house.
Wow.
At the same house. So really cool. That was probably about 7 or 8 years ago now. But, just like most of us and a lot of people I see come on the show, it's just once you get bitten by the bug, you just can't stop. I'm obsessed.
Yes. Well, especially when you're getting nice old coins like that.
Yep. I just saw a Brooklyn treasure hunter. He got a Merc dime today.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
We know somebody, Casey, that hadn't got one of those.
I'll get one day. I'll get one.
If you came out here, I could almost guarantee we would go to metal detecting. You'd find a Merc dime.
Oh my!
In a couple days, guarantee
oh
it.
My! Pop the trailer on the truck there. Let's.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. Good stuff.
Head them up, move them out.
I actually found a Barber dime before I found my first Mercury dime, the 06 Barber.
Wow.
Well, out in some of those ghost towns, Casey, I think that'd probably be more likely to find.
Yeah, some of them are older.
Seedids and barbers and that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's correct.
Because most of them were abandoned, before the turn of the century, I think, weren't they?
Some of them, yeah. Some of them, it's like 1900, 1905. They were fully abandoned. And it gets hard to find coins in those places. I just think everything's settled for so long, and a lot of people have been to them. A lot of people, just find out where I'm going and go there too. But I'm talking to the property owners and whatnot and letting them know. And I share my finds with the property owners. So, I want to share the wealth and show them why I like to do this. So I like to share it. And I got enough. I got a good pile.
Right.
Yeah.
So
there's always enough.
Yeah. Oh, please. Is there any etiquette to a ghost town? You said about permission. Can anybody just drive to one and start, detecting?
Every piece of land, somebody owns it. And there are gray areas that people, that you find things out, but there's somebody in control of all the land. So might as well just try to avoid an awkward situation and just find out who owns it. And it's usually just go to the nearest house near the town and talk to the people at that house. And almost every time they know who owns it. They set you up. So that's how you do it. But there's other etiquette too, like the main thing with the property owners is, well, there's two things. The holes, most of them there's a lot of ranchers out there. So they got cattle and they're concerned about their cattle breaking a leg and things like that. And it's really not the metal detectorists. It's probably the diggers and the sifters, and mainly animals, prairie dogs and things like that. But they're scared of their cattle breaking a leg. But, you just fill in your holes. Even if you're the last person that will ever be where you're at, fill your hole in.
Oh, yeah, easily. And I think you're right, Casey, is, you could be out there and you could dig be very careful, dig the proper plug, fill it in, tamp it down. But there can be an animal come along, could be an armadillo, whatever.
Yeah.
And they see that, and then it's easy digging for them, so they dig it up.
Yep.
There's a lot of that. But who gets the blame?
Yeah.
The detectives.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I went
if a cow breaks its leg or whatever,
Yeah. And I went to a ghost town a couple months ago, and, I stopped and talked to the owners before I went there. And I went out there and someone was out there metal detecting, and they had their dog, which there was a sheep herder out there that they told me, a shepherd out there that they told me about. So I knew that you probably, bringing your dog out there with a shepherd, he probably didn't, but I didn't say anything because it's not my property. It's not my business to say anything. Mm-hmm. But he ended up leaving after about an hour. And so I worked my way up where he was, and he had emptied his garbage all over. Wow. And I cleaned it all up. Wow. Because I would have got blamed because I just saw the owners. So I cleaned it all up and just thought when I came back through town, I looked for his vehicle because I was going to go leave it hang it on his doorknob or something.
Yeah, well, nothing phases those kind of people, Casey.
Right. Yeah.
I've seen them at the beach and other places, and they just there's a garbage can 4 steps away,
Yeah.
and that's where they choose,
Yeah.
you know,
Hmm.
and they sit there and they bury beer bottles,
Yeah.
beer cans, all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. They bury it,
Yeah.
and you can see all their trash. I mean, we found such bizarre stuff, and I know Phil, who I hunt with a lot at the beach, and the Mumbles man and John David, we have found dirty diapers.
Ah.
I mean, that's something you really want to dig up, Now, what kind of a moron
Yeah.
would do something like that? I mean, it's sad to me.
Yeah.
I tell you what, it is sad to me the amount of trash. And if people realized, and I tell them all the time, I said, if you found some of the stuff that we found on the beach, you
Yeah.
would never go barefoot on the beach.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Up and down the
Hypodermic.
highways, there's just, you get in a
Yeah.
ghost town near a highway, there's just garbage all up and down. It's amazing that people's parents didn't teach them
Well,
to be.
it's
Yeah,
Wow.
really
I think they just don't
refreshing
learn it when they're
now
young.
that people aren't there. There's still a lot of people that smoke, but you know, not as many now. I mean, I remember many times, you pull up to a stoplight, um, like in Tallahassee, and it would be thick with cigarette butts, just out
Yeah.
there, out the
Hmm.
window, all over every place.
Yeah. It's sad.
So
Very sad.
it's really it's
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
and they don't live like that. Well, maybe they do. I don't know.
I think they do.
They probably,
You know
They
what? You may be
do.
right, but their mamas didn't raise them up like that.
Or maybe they did. I don't know.
Well,
yeah,
they
you
didn't
see in
have a
their car,
grandmother
or you
like
see in their house.
mine that would snatch them bald headed. You know.
All right, are we gonna? Can I tell a treasure tale?
Sure.
This is Treasure Tales. Go
Great.
ahead.
So I've got a good story for y'all, and it starts out with me and my buddy. He was like a 20-year. I think I don't know if he was in the Army or the Air Force, but he was military police, and we love to travel around to towns around here, the old towns, and ask permissions. And so this was about a year or two ago, probably 2 years ago. We went to this small little town, and we went down the main street and looked at the buildings. Then we went down a side street and we saw this big old house, from the late 1800s. And we're like, let's ask this guy. And so we went up to his door and knocked on it, and he answered, and we're like, hey, we're metal detectors. You mind if we spend a little time metal detecting? And he's like, oh, sure, you can metal detect all you want, but there's been like 1 million people here that have detected. And we're like, all right, well, if we can give it a shot, that'd be great. You can never get it all. And he's like, yeah, you guys can do that. And then we said, hey, can you tell us about the history of the house? We're really intrigued with the history of the houses. And that's one thing about permissions is sometimes a permission for myself. I've spent years getting a permission from somebody. I talk to them.
Yeah.
They call me later on. Then a couple of years, like 2 years later, they're like, hey, you know what? You want to come and metal detect? So, and sometimes I'll spend an hour talking to somebody before I metal detect, or they'll say no. And then later on they'll let you. But so it's just always good thing to just be positive about it, no matter what they say. But this gentleman, he let us, he said we could, but he's like, this house is really special. And he said that a gentleman owned it that was a doctor, and he used it as a hospital, and it was a hotel. So, because it was a big old house for the 1800s. And he said it is documented that, I don't know how, but documented maybe old books, old log books from the hotel, that Butch Cassidy had stayed there in about like 1900, around there, maybe late 1800s. But he knew that Butch Cassidy had stayed there. And then from other things that I've heard, some incredible stories that I wasn't involved with, that Kid Curry was hanging out in this town too, hiding his loot, which ended up getting found, which was crazy. But I wasn't involved with that. But this gentleman, he just kept telling us, and he's like, I travel around. I like to do all these things. He's showing us his van that he traveled around in. And he was talking for probably about 45 minutes. And my buddy's patience was getting thin. And so at one moment while we're talking, because I love the history, I love to know about it. It gets me more into detecting. It makes me want to find stuff even more. It makes me try harder and all that, just knowing something happened there. So my buddy, he just kind of snuck off at after about 45 minutes. He just kind of went over to the truck and got his detector out and got his gear on. And I was still talking to the owner, and he started detecting, and we came around the side of the house, and the owner saw him detecting, goes, "Oh, great." And he's digging a hole, and he's like, "Oh, what'd you find? What'd you find?" And my buddy pulls up a wheat penny, and he goes, "Oh, it's a wheat penny." And he's all, "Oh, yeah, keep all those wheats you find, guys. You can keep those wheats. But if you find a gold coin, we'll split it. Is that a deal?" And we're like, "Yeah, of course it is. We'd be happy, to be able to split it with you. So that's way cool." And he's like, "Yeah, you keep those wheats." And we're like, "Okay." So about 15 more minutes of conversation goes by. My buddy's been going. I'm kind of getting a little anxiety. I want to get over and detect too. And I get my detector out, get my gear on, and I go right that pathway between the door and the sidewalk, the street. And I just start working that. And I go in and dig a hole, and it's a wheat cent.
You can keep it.
I can keep it, right?
Yeah.
Well, I end up popping it out, and it is in such good condition. It had that fine desert sand that had slightly crusted on it. It was in such fine condition that I could just read it. And it turns out it's a 1909 S VDB.
Oh.
And it's in probably extra fine condition. This is the rarest wheat cent that was meant to be.
Wow.
Well, you are the key date kid,
And that's a key date coin for the key date kid right there. That's one of my best ones right there.
And the man said you could keep the wheats.
And he said keep all the wheats. So sure enough, I got to keep this 1909 SVDB.
Right on.
Lincoln cent. And what I could literally, when I just kind of lightly wiped it, and I could see 1909S, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh." And I flipped it over and lightly dusted the bottom and saw the VDB on it. And I knew it. And I told my buddy, I'm like, "I just found like $1,000 coin, bro."
Wow.
And he's just like, look at me, he's like, "What?" I'm all, "Yeah, dude, it's a 1909 SVDB." And we ended up having a good day of detecting, and we found some other great stuff, but nothing like this 1909 SVDB. But incredible, incredible patience. And it's amazing. I'm surprised my buddy didn't get it, because he is really good too with a metal detector. So
wow.
Well, sometimes you were owed that because you spent all that time talking to him. And that reminds me of a story. It's very, very similar. The Mumbles man come up and spent a few days, and we were up in a little town near us, and there was this really old house. It was probably 1820s, 1830s. Very, very nice big area. So we go up and knock on the door, and we're talking to him. And, the guy's from the same town I am, and his wife was, and we're talking to him. We probably talked to him, for an hour. And he's just on the verge of giving us permission. Then the phone rings. And it was his brother that owned some of the property. And his brother says, "Well, I don't want him. I don't want anybody out there doing that." So then he says, "Well, he don't want it, so you can't do it." So after all that time, John with that bozo, I think we're going to have to go back. Maybe his brother died or something. They were old people. So I'm going to go back this fall and see. We'll put another run on him and see what happens. But we should have had you there, Casey. I mean, you could charm them.
Yeah, you just got to smile so bright that if they say no, they think you might cry. So
well, we just figured, if you were there charming him, we just go get the detectors and go off the side and begin, and then but
by the time his brother called, you guys would have been all over
that's
it.
Right. We'd have been having half the yard covered.
And that's a good one to go back to, because you never know. His brother might have changed his mind. He might come, you might go by and his brother's not around, and he's just like, "Hey, yeah, you guys just enjoy yourselves." You know,
Let's
I
hope he
really think
does. Let's hope he does.
I think most of the time, if there's stuff at a property, and I know everybody's caught up on values and stuff, but it's probably gonna, if there's actually some old stuff in the ground there, you're probably looking about $5 to $20 in collectors. It's just about getting, touching something that somebody hasn't touched for a century, and getting to see it since, that nobody's seen since a century or more, and that's what it's about. And just collecting those old relics and coins and all that neat jewelry and stuff.
Mhm.
Just getting to see it and see how it was made, and just knowing seeing authentic history is just
Yeah.
really cool to me.
Mhm.
Well, there's a lot of it out there. We just gotta, you gotta find the right place and at the right time.
Mhm. Yeah.
I think that if everybody got a detector, well, not everybody that's into it, there's just more than enough land for everybody to be detecting. It's just people don't want to, they want to be cradled. They don't want to do the research and
Yeah,
study the
that's true.
history,
Mhm.
and they just
And,
want to
and
give into them a spot. Just show me the
and-
spot. But doing the history, researching it, that's how you get on those spots, and that's how you get on good spots. So that's what it's about. You got to let it, you got to get all into it. You got to dive into that deep end,
Mhm.
and that's how you're going to get the good stuff. You just got to be passionate about it. When I was a kid, everybody was skateboarding, and I tried to skateboard, and I tried to do it and fit in with them, but I just didn't like it. I wasn't passionate about it,
Mhm.
and it was fruitless for me. So I'm glad that I don't do that anymore, especially for my knees.
well, so are we.
Yeah. So Casey, with all that being said about the researching and stuff, do you think are there still ghost towns to be found that people haven't found? Do you think?
I'm obsessed with that, and I'll spend sometimes 2 to 4 hours driving and going to places just to find out that, hey, it's no trespassing and no permission, and I'm doing the footwork like that. And a
Mhm.
lot of people don't want to do that, but for me, I know a lot of them, so I'm like, okay, I'll go to this other place here.
Mhm.
But I do think there are a few places out there that
Mhm.
have never been hit that people don't know about. And there are a few places that people own that they live right
Mhm.
there. So they're not letting anybody on it.
Yeah.
But there are a few, and I think there's a few more like wagon stops,
Mhm.
Oh,
um,
yeah.
things like that.
Mhm.
Small places, stagecoach stops, small places like that people don't know about and don't know how to find.
Mhm.
Including myself. But if you do the research and find and work hard enough, it's all about getting that coil on the soil. But I do think there are a few just incredible spots out there that are just waiting to be discovered,
Oh,
and
sure.
it's going to be
Sure.
amazing.
And like you said,
Amazing.
Casey, it could have been this guy owned it the first time you were there, and or all the other people went there, and he said no, no, no detecting,
Yeah.
and maybe he sold it to somebody else, and you hit him up right. They say, yeah, sure, go ahead, because you never
I've
know.
had that happen with old houses. Someone sold their old house, and someone moved in, and they're like, "Yeah, you can metal detect it." And there's marbles all, when you're digging your plugs, marbles are coming up, and
Oh, right on.
you're getting a handful of 3, 4, 5 silvers, and three,
Sure.
four,
Wow.
5 nickels in there, and some old tags. In Utah, old dog tags are highly sought after,
Yeah.
and they have a good value because of that.
Yeah. Mark Fiorella has got a question for you, Casey. He wants to know, do you hunt like, when the old wagon trains, the trails they used to take? Have you been able to find any of those and hunt any of that?
Yeah. Yep. I've been to some. They're some of them are pretty amazing, and I don't like the people that I go with. I kind of, you can't share too much. That's one thing I tell people. Tell everybody,
That's right.
then
Yeah, you
everybody's
don't
going to
want
go
to.
there.
Poachers.
You're going to be the one guy that doesn't have a job that just goes out to that spot and spends days and days there. So you got to be
Yeah.
careful. I know
Yeah.
you want to tell everybody, hey, I got this amazing spot, but you got to just bite your tongue and
Mhm.
be patient with it. Um, but yeah, those old wagon stops and stuff. Most of the time out there, you find I found a fur trap, and it's really cool. But a lot of bullets, round balls, and Henry repeater shells
Mm.
out there with the rimfire, and things like that. A lot of that out there, and the one thing you look for is glass. If you see glass, especially purple, you know that you're on a nice old spot. But I've been on some of those old wagon routes, and that's one of my things I study the most is the wagon routes and things like that. And they're very interesting. And yeah, it's pretty amazing some of the stuff
Yeah.
you can come
You
across.
never
But just
know what's
knowing,
going to fall off those wagons.
yep. I had one that I took Stapley, who's in my videos with me too. He found a 1779 British large cent,
Wow.
Mm.
and we took it to this coin dealer, and he said that it probably wasn't even like spendable when they probably dropped it in the 1840s or 50s. He said it was probably not spendable. It was someone's lucky penny that they
Ah,
carried with them. They
that's pretty
kept a
cool.
lucky penny.
Yeah,
That's
that's
very
cool.
possible too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
1700s out here in Utah, you don't see that really ever.
No, he
But
was
pretty
probably
amazing.
right. There probably wasn't any place to spend it hardly.
Yeah. Yep.
You
And
know,
yeah, it's just I'm sure they could probably have spent it in some way, but most likely from the information I learned is it was just a lucky coin.
could have been from an old mountain man that had sold a bunch of furs and dropped his penny. Who knows?
I love that story. That's a cool story.
It could have been
It was
Jeremiah Johnson.
cool. I was sitting filming. There's bald eagles, a nest of them. So I was filming the bald eagles because I thought it was cool, and he started losing his mind. So I knew he'd found something good, and he wanted to leave. He's like, "Let's go. I want to leave. There's nothing here." And so I'm like, "Give me a
Ah.
second. I'm videotaping these eagles. Come on, leave me alone." And then all of a sudden, "Wah, Casey, get over here!"
Yeah.
Just amazing. And can't even. It's smooth. But when you get water on it, right before the water's done evaporating off of it, you can see the date, and pretty amazing to see an old coin that has been sitting there for that long.
Well,
For
it's
sure.
been there a good number of years. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, that would be. So what's kind of next for the Key Date Kid?
I got a lot of footage, and I want to put it up, so I want to get time to do that. But I am being, I'm really busy with these.
We
these
like
shows
that,
here.
and we do everything we possibly can to
Yes.
keep you that way.
Yes.
You guys are keeping me busy. I got the wide spade I just completed, and the person that ordered this is likely watching right now. So sorry I didn't mail it today. I wanted to show it. So got this one
Nice.
just finished here,
Nice.
and then the companion for it. We got him a nice fresh
Beautiful.
hand digger to go with it,
Beautiful. Nice.
and pretty awesome. And
They
they're
are
just
indeed.
fun to make. And we got check out this black version. This black version is sweet.
Oh, that's nice.
That
Get
is
the light
nice.
reflect off that. Yeah.
Very nice.
And
Wow.
the back of it, and it's got that textured grip on it for you. So
You know what? The thing about the textured grip, even if it's wet, your hand's not sliding off your digger.
Exactly. Or you
Yep.
get in, if it is wet and you're in the mud, other ones you can't hold
spin
on
in your
to it.
hand.
That one
Exactly.
makes no difference.
Exactly.
And that's the
And
difference.
that's why I love my shovel because I've got the D handle on it.
Yep.
And
If it
I
wasn't
tell you
there.
what, yeah, it's like we say repeatedly every chance we get, it's the best shovel and diggers on the planet Earth. Bar
It's
none.
well thought out.
Yeah.
And I just had the guy on Stranger Things. He just got one
I saw that posting.
Yeah.
Yes.
on Instagram. Yeah. So totally stoked to see him holding an Excalibur. Makes me
Yeah.
feel special. But these are thought out. The time, I've spent honestly, at this point now, it's almost my 10,000 hours on this. These are thought out. It's not, I didn't just throw this together and start selling them. These are thought out. I'm not just coming out with this. So there's been research and development put into this, for using with metal detecting. They work excellent for bottle digging. And then, some people buy them to transplant trees and flowers and things like that. But I just pretend that they're digging treasure and build it. And it makes me excited. Yeah. But there's been a lot of effort and research put into these. And, I started off with the first couple of years with selling them to people in the club. I've been the president of the National Utah Token Society. It's Utah's metal detecting club. I've been the president 4 times. So I tested these with them, and they were destroying them. So there's been so much work and effort put into this that when you get one of these, you're getting one of the best digging tools you can get possible. There's not just one thing that makes them great. There's a lot. And there's not just one thing that makes them strong. There's, the material. There's not very many companies that use aircraft grade steel like I do. So it's the metal, and then just the angles and the engineering behind it that goes into making these Excalibur shovels. I mean, the name really suits it well. If you can build it, you can break it. But these things are super tough. People are loving the Merlin. Thanks for that video, Liz. That was a great video.
Oh, you're very welcome.
I got it on the website.
Right on. Good stuff.
And yeah, it's just, there's not just one thing. I'm not just kind of testing this on people, just like building something to just sell and good luck. It's no. Yeah. You're getting something that's had the research and development put into it, and you're going to like it. And I get, I probably get 3 to 5 emails a week of people thanking me and telling me how much they love them. I save them all because I'm flattered. I'm stoked that they love them. And just such a small, just almost, it's less than 1% defect rate of these shovels. I mean, it's rare warranties and whatnot come up. It has a 2-year replacement. After the 2-year replacement warranty ends, you get an additional 3 years of a repair. So after the first 2 years, the next 3 years, if you send it back to me, if you mail it back to me, if something happens, I'll repair it for free and send it back to you. So it's a 5-year total warranty. Yeah. So I'm looking out for you. I want you guys digging. I want you guys using my tools. I want to be part of your hunt, part of your dig. If I can't be there, at least the tools are there. It makes me feel great. Yeah, I can't be.
You will be because you're going to be on Treasure Talk on September 26th. So you'll have all this new information to share with us.
And I got a lot of videos, but I just got to get time to get them up. But honestly, I'm working till 10 o'clock at night, and I come in, take a shower, and just lay down and go to sleep. Yeah. So it's busy, it's tough, and it's not easy to do.
No, it's not.
And I'm not trying to say that.
You're just it's fantastic work that you do, fantastic product that you put out. And we just can't thank you enough for taking some time out of your busy day, Casey, when you should be sleeping, to come and tell treasure stories with us.
Right.
Now, and you're going to be with us again on Treasure Talk on September 26th, and we're going to have a passel of questions for you.
Sweet. I'm stoked.
So you get some sleep and go plant a new shovel, will you?
I got a powder coat.
You on the show. Okay?
All righty.
All right, Casey, thanks so much for being with us tonight. We'll bring our other guests on here, but you just take care. And thanks again. You make great products.
Yes.
Thanks for wearing your Excalibur gear there, guys.
Hey,
you betcha. You betcha.
Stuff, just like the shovel.
Right on.
It's a pleasure to be on. I love to share my stories and share my shovels with you guys.
Excellent. Thank you, Casey. Key Date Kid.
Thank you. Thanks,
Key
Liz.
Date Kid. Go and subscribe to that channel.
That's
and
right.
Make sure you watch Treasure Talk on September 26th. Well, you should be watching it every week. But September 26th, you never know. Casey may have something new. You
Yep.
never
If I'm
know.
not watching, I'm listening. I don't miss an episode of Treasure Talk.
Good man. Casey,
Right
we'll
on.
talk to you later, my friend.
All right. Bye, everybody. Happy digging.
Thanks, man.
Take care.
I tell you what, one talented individual, I have to tell you.
Yeah, exactly.
Very, very talented individual.
Very, and busy though. Very busy.
Well, that's, when
Yeah.
you make it, like John David made a comment, like a field of dreams, you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
He builds it, they will come.
Yeah.
Because slowly but surely, we're doing our best to try to get everybody in the world to buy Excalibur products.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
know Phil is at the shop. He can't hardly keep them in stock. And he's coming into his season where the shovels are really going to pick up. So now we've got a couple of other guests. We got their video figured out.
Excellent.
And everybody that doesn't know them is going to be very pleased to meet them. Two great, great people from down around Tampa. And so let's just bring them on. Dirty Paws Detecting. Hey, guys.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello.
We're doing good. We're doing good. The question is, how did you get the name Dirty Paws Detecting? I think I know, because I just saw something, because I've been seeing you sitting in the green room, seeing something,
You've been seeing him one of the dogs, huh?
We try to put them behind the doors, but then they start barking. So we got to let them in to be part of the show.
Yeah.
One of them behaves. One of them behaves, and then of course, the German Shepherd, she never behaves, so she has to stay outside.
Well, you know what? You guys ought to introduce yourselves to everybody around the world in case they don't know you.
Okay, I'm Mike Mayo, and this is my wife Trish, and we live in Tampa, Florida, right in the heart of Tampa, Florida, and we've lived here our whole life. We were born and raised here. We actually dated in junior high school. And so anyway, we just love detecting. We've been doing it for quite a while now, and there's not much about it that we don't like, other than the heat here in Florida.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to get out.
That's why you guys are you're renowned Nighthawks, aren't you?
Well, we were, and we had done that for a long time. We would go to the beach over at Clearwater Beach about 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night, and we would hunt until about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. And the last time we went over there, we ran into some people that weren't so friendly. It was the first time I've ever been a little bit afraid. So we haven't been back since. It'll probably be a little while before I get up my nerve to go back over there again.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, Trish is the premier hunter of the group.
She is.
Oh no, he tells you that.
Yeah, but I think I know why too. From what you said, she's got an extreme amount of patience because, Mike, you said she's been dating you since junior high. She has to be very patient.
Yeah.
You're right there.
This is my junior high school sweetheart.
Yeah, we've been the last 3 or 4 weeks. We've been going out generally just one day a week. I retired, and then she retired, and she's got me in the gym like 4 days a week. So I don't have a lot of time to work out. But we've been going out about one day a week down in Ybor City. I don't know, Jeff, if you know where Ybor City is.
Oh yeah, been there a number of times.
Yeah, so that's kind of a historic area down there, and getting a permission is kind of hard. But we've gotten a few permissions down there, and after about 3 hours, I'm about done because it's hot. But she'll go on for 5, 6 hours. She just keeps going. She just never stops.
Right on. Trish is a trooper.
As long as I'm finding something, I want to keep going.
Yeah, right on.
Well, there be some really old stuff there.
What's that?
There should be some really old stuff in Ybor City.
Oh, there is. There really is. We found some neat stuff. We found a little bit earlier in the year, I found and I've never seen one. I never knew they even existed. It was a title certificate plate that nailed into the dashboard of an old 1920s car. They had wooden dashboards, and found that in an empty lot down there in Ybor. And she found a hub to I think it's a Model T Ford, a hubcap.
Yeah.
And I think I found a valve stem cover to an old Ford. So yeah, there's a lot of old stuff to find down there. I found a token from Gasparilla. Jeff, you know about Gasparilla, right?
Yep.
So there's a lot of tokens from Gasparilla over the years, but I found one that was back. One of the guys on one of the groups saw it, and he said it was back from the early 1900s. So that was pretty cool. That was really neat to find.
You know, you might, you would probably know better than I, but I would think, because that was really the Cuban community and the Spanish community of Tampa back then, and there was big cigars. They were hand making cigars, and I think they still do in some areas. But didn't they have some silver tools and stuff that they used to make those cigars?
Oh, I'm sure they did. Actually, my mom actually worked in a cigar factory when I was a kid. And she was, her job, and this is funny because her job was to put the leaf into a machine. It would strip the stem out of the leaf. So everybody asked me, what'd your mom do when she went to work? I said she was a stripper. So they got a good kick out of that.
She probably got a kick out of about the first 3 times you said it, and then after that, she probably wanted to beat knots on your head.
Yeah. But it's there's a lot of stuff down there. I'm sure we're still getting permissions down there. So Trish, and we dig with another girl, AJ Culkin. I'm sure you probably know her, Jeff. Amanda.
I might know her if I saw her, but the name doesn't ring a bell.
Okay.
And let me say that it's me and the other girl that gets the permissions, because permissions.
I do.
I bet that I know that is 100% true. Yeah, we'll have to get her on Treasure Tale. So talk to her about it. Have her get in touch with me. Let's get her on.
Yeah, I will. She works at night. She works for the city. You know, we all retired. We both retired from the city, and she works for the city also. But she works overnight. Like tonight, I know she's working tonight. But we'll get her on one night.
Yeah, we'll make arrangements for that. I know one of the detectors that you use. So I know what you use, Mike. Chris, what are you using now?
I'm using the Equinox 600.
Okay.
Yeah, she had an Apex. She was using the Apex, and the Apex really was doing very well for her. And when she retired, one day her son, who also works for the city, by the way, he showed up at our house and had a present for her, and it was the Equinox 600 for her retirement.
Wow,
process.
Very nice. Very nice.
So that was very nice of him. And I love the Equinox. I love I love the way it detects. I love the inner workings of it. The only thing I don't like about it is the reliability of it. You know,
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I wish they would fix that. Matter of fact, she just had to send back headphones that broke on her. Some wireless headphones that broke.
Yeah, I'll use them twice.
What detector did Mike use? Did I miss that?
I use the Equinox 800.
Oh, you're the 8 and she's the 6.
Yeah. I over a little bit. It's like at the gym, if she lifts 100 pounds, I got to lift 120.
Of course.
Yeah, trust me. I know. I got people there. I go to the gym every day. We do a CrossFit group, and there's always one that's got to try to outdo everybody. So you still got the Apex, though, I think.
Yeah, we still have the Apex. We got the Apex. We have Ace 400. We have 3 or 4 machines, but the Apex, like I said, it worked really well. And when we were going to the beach, she was using it at the beach, and it's very, very good for salt water. I mean, it works well on the wet sand and in the salt water. It's very quiet, never have any chatter or anything like that. But you know, I would, if we had the money Jeff has, I'd probably have a Deus too.
Well, I was just fixing to say, tell your son
He just
that Chris, you can use a Deus too,
Yeah, for real. Yeah. What are you gonna do? But
what
no,
about
I divulged myself from all my other detectors, and I ended up with 2 Deus 2s.
There you go.
I got rid of everything else I had.
Yeah.
well, I know Liz has the ORX, and I actually thought that would probably be a pretty neat machine. I'm not sure how it would work in salt water, but
I gotta say, I've never had that. Never had that in salt water.
I don't think the ORX is it's like the Deus one. It's not. You can configure it where it'll be a little quieter, but the whole problem with those is if the coil's underwater, unless you're running the antenna, you're not going to get the signal.
That's
right.
That's true.
So, but the ORX is a killer machine. Now, that's
my goodness,
that would work extremely well down in Ybor City or some of the housings and stuff that you guys get to detect.
Right.
It would be a very, very light, and I would recommend if you do go that way, or even you might get a really good deal on a Deus one now, and I would get the 9-inch HF coil.
Yeah.
And just stay with the 9-inch coil or the X35.
We got a, we're using the Equinox, and I'm using the stock coil, and we had bought a, what's the coil? Coil-Tech coil, the 10 by 5. Love that coil. She's using that one right now.
Yeah, that's a good coil, especially down in Ybor City, getting in all that trash and stuff.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of trash there. Trust me.
No. Yeah, there's going to be trash there. So, tell us about some of your finds, some of your favorite treasure stories.
Well, we got, digging at the beach, you find a lot of jewelry. A lot of times it's just junk, but we found a lot of gold and silver at the beach. And probably one of her favorites is the gold grill she found, the 14 karat gold grill she found down there, which was, that was pretty neat.
How does somebody lose a grill on the beach?
Well, you've seen them jazzing around, and a lot of them with the grills, they're not cemented in there. They've got 2 or 3. It's like, what grill are you going to wear tonight? Going without. One's got a diamond, one's got an emerald, one's got their initial in it. So, you get, you've hunted in the water, both of you, I know you have, and you get slapped in the face with a wave. I've been hit by waves big enough that knocked my headphones off and landed me on the bottom. So I can see where somebody gets the grill knocked out.
Yeah. Some of the other finds, we find a lot of pocket knives and stuff like that when we're not hunting at the beach. One of the finds we found, we had a permission. We still have the permission. It's about 70 acres, and we've continuously hunted that over the last 2 years probably, and we find all kind of stuff out there. But one of the little things that I really liked was this little cap gun that I found back from the 50s.
Let me ask you a question. Sure. When you found that cap gun, didn't you automatically smell the caps after you got fired?
Did I do what?
When you were a kid, and you had the cap gun, when you fired them and it popped those caps, there was that odor from the cap.
Oh, I can smell that odor right now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Gun, didn't that that again?
That was before my time, Joe.
Well, that's very possible.
We also found, and I wish I could have found the rest of it, but it's a little piece of a Derringer cap gun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But we just it doesn't matter what we find. We keep everything, and we just enjoy knowing what's next or looking for what's next. It doesn't matter what it is.
So who has the oldest coin? Is it Trish or is it you, Mike?
I think I have the oldest. It's a 1909 wheat penny. I haven't got anything older than that yet. The silver, she last week she found 2 silver coins. She found Standing Liberty quarter, and she found the 1939 silver quarter. One of my first, one of my first.
You were thrilled about that, weren't you, Trish?
Very thrilled.
I bet.
You could probably tell if you're using the Knox, you could probably tell that probably rang up probably about 29, 28, 29, and 30.
It did. It did. I started to get down and roll on the ground like Ringy does.
Well, yeah. Well, you notice when he does that, it's in a field where there's a lot of grass. He's not an Ybor City where there's all kinds of, other stuff.
Yeah, that one permission field that's got, that big field that we have. I found a 1957 Franklin $50 there, silver dollar.
Oh, that's cool.
Which was very nice. But we found, also found a 1916. What was it? It was a 1916 dime, whatever those dimes are. Before the Merc. It was the last year. The last year, whatever it was.
Be a barber.
Yeah, it was a barber.
Yeah.
So we found one of those out there too. But we found Buffalo nickels and a lot of Mercury dimes, a lot of Rosie dimes out there. But it's just fun to find. We don't find a lot of old coins like they do up in Pennsylvania or Ohio or.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, and
the Mumble Man. The Mumble Man. What your most unusual find is?
Most unusual find?
Yeah.
We were we were looking for it tonight. It's not the 14 karat gold grill. It was another grill. It wasn't a precious metal. It was, but it was a grill that we found by a tennis court. Still had a tooth in it. So that's probably the most unusual find that we found.
Wow.
Yeah, that's, you got to wonder what happened there.
Yeah.
There's a story there, and it's probably really funny.
Yeah.
There's a big story there. Yeah, I kind of like whenever we're out and we find something like that. If you ever listen to KG and Ringy, George, he's always making up some weird far out story. So we kind of like to do the same thing about when we find something like that. We'll make up a weird story about it. But
oh yeah, that's always fun to do. So what's kind of next in the horizon for Dirty Paws Detecting? Now, I have a question.
Yep.
Are you going to post some videos to your YouTube channel?
Well, we were talking about that when you asked Casey what his next adventure was. My next adventure is to be able to get me a camera that actually works, that I don't have to use my phone. So it was aggravating tonight, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, when we go out and hunt, it's just, we like to hunt and we like to find the stuff. I don't have time to sit there and take a video of it. But I
understand that completely. And then you have to edit it all, and stuff like that. That's the Canuck, how many hours she spends editing.
Sometimes a lot.
She does great. When I find something, I'm gonna throw it in my bag and go find something else.
Go find more.
Right.
Yeah, we're a little bit challenged there, so it's
okay.
Well, I understand that. That's why, I hadn't posted any videos for a long time. You just get, I don't want to take the time to video it and edit it and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I got plenty to do running 2 shows, let me tell you.
Oh, I bet.
So, I'll be down in your area in about a couple of weeks, about 3 weeks.
Yeah, just give me a call. Give me a call. We'll meet up somewhere.
All right. I'll be at the beach. I'll be out at Treasure Island, so y'all need to come out there.
Hey, we can do that.
Yeah.
I'll be there 18th through the 23rd.
Okay.
So all up and down that area.
Okay.
Hope you have
We'll
nice.
get together, and the guru will be over there.
Yeah, I hope you have nice weather because lately here in the afternoon it's been pretty bad over there on the beach. They've had a couple of water spouts that actually come on shore. They got videos of it, so got to be careful over there.
Well, I hope the clouds part when I arrive, you know.
And Liz, we really enjoy your show, Liz. We watch it on Sunday mornings as often as we can whenever you have it on there. So
Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you.
And we love Miley.
Hey, Miley would probably love to meet your German Shepherd.
Oh, I'm sure. But mine's not very friendly. You know, she doesn't like other dogs, and she doesn't like a lot of people. She's very protective, and
Yeah.
I was surprised we were able to get the English Setter and the German Shepherd to cohabitate.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
Well, it does happen. So we look forward to seeing you when I'm down there. We'll do
Okay.
some hunting on the beach, and
Sounds
we'll
good.
get a couple other people, and the guru will be down there. And of course, don't expect him to be out there in the morning till about 10:30 or 11 o'clock. That's usually the time he emerges. So, but I'll be out there early.
Okay.
So we'll get some hunting done.
Sounds good.
All righty. Thanks, guys. It's nice to have you with us tonight. And we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Thank
Thanks,
you. You
guys.
as well.
Okay.
Great folks. Just
Wow. Yes.
outstanding people.
Wonderful. Wonderful peeps.
Yeah,
Wonderful peeps.
they're great. And it's kind of like what I thought, you know, with their YouTube channel to for watching the live streams. And it is a lot of work. It is a tremendous amount of work.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
posting quality videos. You know, like I said, ask you how many hours it takes for your editing.
Well, you know, many hours, but I totally see where they're coming from, because when you're metal detecting and you're like Trish was like, I wanted to get that find and go to the next one.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't want to have to like, oh, hang on here. I have to get my camera out and
Yeah.
record this, or I got to do a live dig, or, you know, got to set up this shot kind of thing.
Yeah.
You can totally do twice as many, maybe 3 times as many holes if you're not filming. And sometimes I just do non-filming days where I just go out,
And you don't want to film.
just to dig stuff.
Yeah, you don't want to film.
I think you have to do that sometimes.
I know. So, like I said, next Thursday night, the 25th, we're not going to be on because I've got a personal thing I need to attend to. But we'll be back on September 1st. And if you can believe it, it's already September almost. I think all the kids are in school up in Canada now, aren't they?
They'll be in school after Labor Day.
Oh, okay. They didn't. Okay. Well, a lot of them here are in school, have been for a week or so, 2 weeks.
Oh, wow. No, Canadian kids go after Labor Day.
So we'll have Ohio River hunting, and Gary Gross will be on September 1st. So
Double G digs.
Yep. I hope that everybody joins us on Treasure Tales. And we've got now Monday night on Treasure Talk, we've got Anderson Detector Shafts. And if you have not entered, that's a killer giveaway. Now I'm going to tell you, anything, if you go to AndersonDetectorShafts.com, they're a whole website. How you enter is you pick out what you want with the item number, and you use that as your entry on Facebook or YouTube. You can find the video on YouTube. If you're a member of Treasure Talk on Facebook, you know the drill. And if your name is called and you answer, because you got to be tuned in to win, that's a pretty nifty prize, let me tell you.
Anything in the Anderson catalog, like anything, that's pretty good.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That is a lot. So
yeah,
that's it for us tonight. Like I said, if you want to be on Treasure Tales to tell us your treasure stories. And you can see that, it's like sitting in the living room having a brewski with the Canuck and myself. It's very casual. It's not about what you find or how many Civil War belt buckles you've gotten, anything like that. It's about you, your journey as a detectorist and treasure hunter. And you don't have to even be a detectorist. There's all kinds of forms of treasure hunting.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And you've got a story to tell. It's a valuable story. It's a unique story, and we want to hear it, and so does everybody else.
Yes.
So get with us. You can see across there. You can get with me at treasuretalkshow@gmail.com. You can contact Liz at diggingcanuck@gmail.com. Let us know that you would like to be on. And we're booking now for the month of December. We got a few dates open in December. So we hope to see you soon. And Liz, thanks, kiddo.
Thank
Hope
you for
have some
having
good
me.
weather. You get out detecting up there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And hope everybody's well up there. And we want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. It was a very, very fun night for me and you, I think.
Yes. Great show.
Yeah, and good people. So happy hunting, everybody, and dig deeper, and we'll see you later.
Good night, everyone.